All right, here is AMD going through somebody's tech, getting wrecked. AMD, let's go way back on this daily chart. See back to 2020. It doesn't even reach here on my screen, but you can see it going all the way up here, this big wedge. And I changed this line a little bit tighter. So you put it up higher, misses it. Lower line, you can see right here. And let's go back to basically April. Where was the low here? This was at 76.48 goes to 260. Remember, it had this big gap up. I think with AI, they had news, and went up again on further news here, and you pretty much double topped here. Then you start to come down right here, and of course today, look at this getting crushed down 7.85%, 206. Now, is this going to fall into the gap? I think so at this point. That would mean a big trend line from April. That would put it about 180. We'll see if it gets there. You see this, look at this ripple up from the low in September to in stochastics. Back and forth it went. Look at this, grinding up, and then it hit a top right here. That was 94.88 stochastics. Then the strength went down. This went deep, and it did bounce almost to the high, but this was already going down. And then we went up again and then faded. That's where we're at. We're at 946 stochastics. Weekly chart, you can see, this was coming down a long time since 2024, December, January, March. Look at this, April, you start to go up. There was one peak that was back in July, 96 on stochastics. Then again in, what was that, October 94, you're fading down. See this big trend line. It would make sense if we bounce from here. We'll see if it happens, the market-wise. And look at the big moves it puts in. Now, look at this big broadening wedge. This is a classic textbook broadening wedge. Low to high 2018 comes up. Sideways box here, or rectangle. Then you go up higher, down again. So you can see this. Look at the low. All the way 18, 19 connecting. 2022, 25. And then you can see the high line. Now, this I curved a little bit. You put it straight on this line. It would put it like here, well above. Putting at these tops. So what does that mean? Are we eventually going to 80 on AMD? I'm not saying that, but could we eventually fall there if the market has a huge pullback, maybe into 2026? I mean, it's possible. That would put it like 20-25%. And you look at these lows, though. Look at here. Every low you went up and then hit a peak. Every low, 2025. Look at this low. 323 stochastics. Now you've crossed over on the monthly. That's never good. Look at this white over red. This whole ride up was clean. Clean. Now you're crossing. That is big trouble to me. That's something's up. Yeah, are we going to go down a little bit and stay up? That's possible. We did that. See this 20, 22, but the market's different now too. So we'll see if we get some sort of pullback deeper. That's what I'm looking for on this. Now let's look on the day, 3 minute on AMD. This is another great short. So you see the market starting to fade. That's where you look for big volatility now. So 234, look at this candle right at the open. And you go all the way down at 210, bounce, go lower. Here's your tight trend line. Further out, let me get this here. See, it connects all the connection points. And then you bring it further. And then, each move, it didn't go higher, even though you bounced, but it's getting further out, and the trend line, everything's going down with the market. You're talking 234 to, what's a little cross here, 202. You could have made a lot of money. Just say you had, regular account, small account. This is easily 5 to 10 grand plus. Absolute beast. Go to the 10-minute chart. See, look at this going back to the 12th. This is a broadening wedge down. Look at the volatility. Smaller, wide, getting absolutely huge. Could you get a counter rally all the way up to 230? Yes, possible. We're going down right now, and it just depends, everything, what's going on with the market. What news comes out now, what can drive this market back up. So we'll watch this. But I'd like to see 180 in this, and we'll see if that eventually happens on AMD. That's it. Please subscribe to Mike Kim and Trades on YouTube. Smash the like button.